We have just 5 more sleeps before the Sony A75 announcement, and the leaks, they keep a-coming. Today we have an update on the video specifications. Will the A75 get 4K at up to 120 frames per second without a crop? Will it get S-Log2, S-Log3, and S-Cinetone? Click subscribe and we'll get right to the latest A75 specifications. Hi, I'm Simon. I love to scan the news and rumor sites and all the patent applications and pro forums so that you don't have to, saving you more time to watch my videos instead. Now, several weeks ago, I did forecast that the Sony A7V would indeed fix that crop in 4K 60, and leaked specifications have confirmed that they have. I also said that the Sony A7V would also have 4K at up to 120 frames per second, but likely with a small crop. And once again, leaked specifications have confirmed that they have. But little is known about, well, what kind of crop it has. I don't think it's going to be anything crazy like what Canon used to offer us. Do you remember that? A crop of 1.7 times with contrast detect autofocus and no IBIS. I think those days are long gone. We're probably looking at something minor at 20% or less. Now, in terms of the codecs, very little is leaked out, but based on a camera at this price point, we can expect to see S-Log2, S-Log3, and S-Cinetone along with long GOP and all intra. And in terms of all intra, we're probably looking at bit rates up to around 600 megabits per second. Though at this point, don't expect anything like OpenGate or false colors because, and we've been told this directly by multiple Sony reps, features like false colors, EAL-Zone, and OpenGate, they don't get used much. So we don't see a lot of value in implementing them. And Sony later confirmed, we're not going to be offering 6K OpenGate. I really do hope that someone educates Sony executives on the importance of false colors and EAL-Zone for obtaining the perfect exposure. Now, if you're not familiar with these, if you're a photographer, well, let me just say that imagine you're shooting a scene and you've got a talking head like this one here, and you're in a dynamic lighting situation and you want to make sure you get things set up. Well, all we have to do is turn on false colors, and what it does is it gives us this wacky color, well, like you see here, and it doesn't make any sense until you realize that this color right here represents middle gray. And so what we try to do is we want to aim that middle gray on the bright part of the face, and it gives us perfect exposure. And what EAL-Zone does is that it takes it to the next level. So if we shoot with the A7V, and then we shoot with the A7R5, the Alpha 1, and all these cameras, if they have EAL-Zone, then we know that when we shoot with a middle gray on this one, it's going to be the exact same as the middle gray on this one and this one. So when we're using multiple cameras on a set, we're able to calibrate them to the same exposure. And that's a really big deal. And when it comes to OpenGate, well, again, it's for editors to allow them more options in post on how to crop and where to put the crop. I'll admit that some of these features are not used by a huge amount of people, but they're growing, and one of the reasons they're growing is how many TV shows and movie shows have you watched where they're shooting in tight spaces and they're using cameras, mirrorless cameras? Shows like The Grand Tour, Top Gear, and many others, when they're in cars, aren't using cinema cameras, but they're using mirrorless cameras. And editors with capabilities like OpenGate, it's something they've been using for decades. So they're asking, can we not put these in these cameras? We're using them in these cars, we're using them in these television series, in these movies. It would help us an awful lot if you could put these capabilities in there. And then some might say, well, no one really uses false colors and OpenGate today. Well, the same could be said for arguments years ago that no serious professionals use color. No serious professionals use autofocus. No serious professionals need 1080 or 4K, and you know how the story goes. What's really strange is that for many years, when Nikon and Canon were lagging, Sony was the first to offer video capabilities, as was Lumix. And now, well, Lumix is still one of the first to offer capabilities like OpenGate in almost all their cameras, whereas Sony's saying our customers don't use them. Well, they don't use them because they're not in their cameras, so if they don't put them in the cameras, how can people use them? Anyhow, I still think the Sony A7V is a terrific camera. It's a big jump up over the A7 IV. Now, depending on your workflow, you might be perfectly happy with the A7 IV. Now, the announcement, date and time, is supposed to take place on December the 2nd at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. London Time, 4 p.m. Central European Time. and we'll provide exact coverage. We'll provide live coverage with our expert panel starting at 9 a.m. Now, Sony has yet to schedule a live event or schedule this live event, so things could change up until the last minute. And as soon as we get confirmation from Sony, we'll let you know as soon as we do. So click subscribe. Let's get us up to 100,000 subscribers. We're moving too slowly. It doesn't mean an awful lot for this channel's reach, but I would just love to have one of those plaques. You know what I mean? And if you are interested in pre-ordering the Sony A7V on December the 2nd, well, I've got good news for you. It doesn't matter if you're in Europe or North America or Asia, the embargo will be lifted at the same time as the announcement. So please use my smart pre-order links down below for B&H and Adorama in the United States, Wax Photo and Video in the United Kingdom, and Photo.ca in Europe. Now, maybe you're looking at the Sony A7V as a great camera, but at near $3,000 or 3,000 euros, it's just a little bit out of your reach. Well, then you might want to consider, if you don't already own it, the Sony A7 IV at $700 off, the Canon R5 Mark I at $25.99, the GH7 at $17.97, and the S5 Mark II at $500 off, Panasonic's first mirrorless camera with a phase detect autofocus system. And every manufacturer has deals out there from the top of the line to the bottom of the line. Every camera, every lens is almost on sale right now. There are obviously exceptions, but if you're looking at buying something right now, I don't think you're going to see a much better price before year end, and most retailers are price guaranteeing, so if you see a better price later, they'll offer you a refund. So I would definitely lock in if you're seeing something right now. Some really incredible deals out there. And again, please use my links down below for B&H and Adorama in the United States, Wax Photo and Video in the United Kingdom, and Photo.ca in Europe. Using my links really does help support this channel, and I get a small commission back of anywhere from 1.5 to 4% on anything that you should purchase. And if you have overheard anything else that you can share with us about upcoming products, anything you've overheard, please email me at simonyates@gmail.com so I can share it with my viewers. Thanksgiving, I'd have to say, is one of the most important holidays in the United States. I've celebrated it down there 5 times from Ocean Isle to Ohio, and it's a really great time. I feel myself missing it. I'm thinking back to my college days and what Thanksgiving meant for me in Ocean Isle, North Carolina. Those were some great times. Anyhow, thank you all for watching, for commenting, for subscribing, and for using my affiliate links. It's very much appreciated. I don't take anything for granted. It's very much appreciated. Cheers. Have yourself a great day, a great Thanksgiving, and we'll see you again tomorrow.